I won't laugh at you. I have to ask you another question. What does Renaissance mean?
Rebirth.
Rebirth. Sit down, Spencer. 2, stand up. Okay. What was the first island Napoleon was exiled to? Alba, sit down. Was it Alina? Okay, then sit down. What was the second island?
St. Helena.
St. Helena. Good. Sit
St.
down.
Helena.
What was his first wife's name? Don't give any answers. Josephine, sit down. And don't, if you are not standing up, do not shout out the answer and don't help anybody. Okay, that's the point. If they don't know it, they have to stand there and be embarrassed. What was the first Protestant religion called?
Lutheranism.
Lutheranism. Sit down, Austin. What's the difference between Lutheranism and Calvinism?
Predestination.
Predestination. Jordan, sit down. Who was the Virgin Queen?
Queen Elizabeth.
Queen Elizabeth. Who was the last Queen of France? That's probably wrong. What queen was beheaded during the French Revolution? Yes, that's also the last queen of France, Marie Antoinette. No, why do you guys keep saying that? And nobody points and laughs. I guess you guys are nicer than. All right. Who was the Sun King? Who built Versailles? Who was the king that died during the French Revolution? That's Louis XVI. Sit down. 3, stand up. What Italian city-state did the Renaissance begin in? Florence. Sit down, Ashley. What was the family that ruled over Florence? Medici. Sit down. Oh. Who sculpted the statue of David? Michelangelo. Sit down. Who painted the Mona Lisa? Who said it first? Jamie, sit down. Who invented the printing press? Gutenberg. Sit down, James. Who wrote Utopia? Thomas More. Sit down. Who conquered the Aztecs?
State.
Yes, but who specifically?
I don't know.
Who conquered the Incas?
I think that
Who discovered America? Okay. Cortez was Aztecs and Pizarro was Incas. 4s. Let's make it really hard for the
Let's not do that.
Who was Henry VIII's first wife?
He loved her, right?
Catherine of Aragon. Sit down.
No, we didn't.
Who was his second wife?
Anne Boleyn.
Anne Boleyn. Sit down. Who was the son of Philip of Burgundy and Joanna of Castile?
Just start throwing out names.
Just say Philip. It works. John. Louis.
You're not standing. But you're not standing. Okay. Who was the most Catholic king? His nickname was the most Catholic king. Who presided over the diet of worms that excommunicated Luther?
There's no penalization for.
Very good, Jake. Sit down, Charles V. How many sacraments do the Protestants believe in? Two. Sit down, Devin. What were they? No, not you. You're down.
You're looking at me.
Name one of the two they believed in.
Not communion. Baptism.
Baptism is one. Communion is the other one.
Oh.
Sit down.
Communion, baptism.
What allowed Lutheranism to exist in the Holy Roman Empire? Yeah. Who started the Methodist religion?
Didn't we just learn that yesterday? Yeah.
Wyatt, why do you keep raising your hand? You're not standing.
He's showing off. And he's looking through, he's going through
No.
notes, too.
I can.
I know it all.
Oh, you're genius.
What king of France was Protestant, converted to Catholicism? Henry of Navarre. Sit down.
That was a good point.
What 17th century country led continental Europe in shipbuilding, navigation, commerce? Netherlands. Sit down.
Round two.
No.
Ask you about biology.
Philip II, who was the son of Charles V, who was the son of Joanna the Mad and Archduke Philip. Wyatt knew all that. Yes.
He's like, yep, I know that one. Here it is, right here. It's cheating.
What, like, isn't the cliche nowadays, like, that rich people are conservative usually?
Yeah.
Then why, like, when Obama was being elected, it seemed like poor people wanted him, and then, like, rich celebrities wanted him too?
Well, that's what people think, but that's not true. Like,
Well, but I mean, like, it seems like when there's a Democratic president being elected, the, like, celebrities, the general majority of them don't.
I think they're more vocal, but there are a lot of celebrities who are Republicans as well. I mean, there's a ton of them. It just goes both ways, you know?
That's why he won.
And you can't, it's just not clear cut, like, some people are extremely conservative when it comes to the economy, but then they're very liberal when it comes to social things, like, you know, gay marriage or whatever it is. So it's just, it's really not that clear cut anymore. There are, you know, I'm fairly poor and I'm fairly conservative too, so it's not really, like,
Yeah.
most people, I don't hug trees and
Yeah.
walk around schools with the legalized pot thing. I mean, that's, you
Oh, I
know.
did that twice
Well, if
yesterday.
people see like the celebrities, like if you see some celebrities that want Obama, and if you see them more liberal, even though they're rich, then people think that's a cliche for all celebrities.
Yeah, there are a lot of Republican celebrities too. I don't know. All right, let's get back to conservative governments, the domestic political order.
Do that again.
Now, we're gonna have to break it up occasionally, because,
Good.
we were losing people. All right, conservative government. So, we talked about the challenges to conservatism, which were nationalism and liberalism. But after the Congress of Vienna met, the direction that the European continent was heading towards was conservatism. Because what the Congress of Vienna is trying to do is prevent another war from happening. And they thought the best way to do that was to reestablish those monarchies and those dynasties that had existed before Napoleon had started taking over. So the conservative governments, that's going to be the domestic political order that exists. So I think we already know what some of the conservative outlooks or what some of the characteristics are, but we're going to go over them again. Monarchies, aristocracies, and the church. Those would be the basic institutions of conservatism. However, what's going to change in the 19th century is there's going to now be an alliance between these three institutions that wasn't necessarily always there. In the past, it seemed like the monarchy, the aristocracy, and the church, there was a lot of animosity between the different groups. But now in the 19th century, these three institutions are going to stick together because they're going to do whatever they can to ensure that they don't get their power taken away from them. So this is one of the major characteristics of conservatives. They have the institutions of monarchy, an aristocracy, and church. They're threatened by the liberals. Why are they so threatened?
Because so much.
Because there's so many.
Nationalism.
Okay, and what are the liberals trying to do?
Get rid of those.
Take power away from them, take away their privileges, and take away their rights. That's one of the major reasons why they're threatened by them. The other reason why they're threatened by them is because they're going to use the French Revolution as their example. Look what happens when you allow liberals to take power and run a country. It results in complete violence and bloodshed. The institutions of the monarchy, the aristocracy, and the church feel like they should be the ones in power because they've always ruled over everybody. That's the way it's always been. They have the most experience. But when you allow a group of people who have no experience whatsoever to run a country, and once again they're using the French Revolution as their example, it results in complete violence and bloodshed. So they're going to defend tradition, and they're going to defend the ancient institutions that had always existed. So that's what conservatism is. Tradition, ancient institutions of monarchy, an aristocracy with privileges and rights, and then the church. Now, liberalism and nationalism resisted in Austria and the Germanies. The ideas of liberalism and the ideas of nationalism, once again, they're especially taking place throughout Austria and the Germanies. This is one of the 6 regions of nationalistic pressure. You have the German people who do not have their own nation, who are part of the larger Austrian Empire. The person you need to know, the person most associated with conservatism, kind of the face of conservatism or the epitome of conservatism, is the prince in the Austrian Empire, Prince Metternich, Clemens von Metternich.
Prince of what?
He's the Prince of Austria. He's going to be the epitome of conservatism. He's going to be the one that is resisting liberalism and resisting nationalism throughout the Habsburg Empire. Because for him, he's trying to maintain the dynastic integrity of the Habsburg Empire. All that means is he's trying to keep it together. There's lots of different peoples, different nationalities residing in the Habsburg Empire, and Metternich is doing everything he can to maintain that dynastic integrity, to make sure that the Habsburg Empire doesn't fall apart. The most interesting thing I can tell you about this chapter is Metternich was a major, major womanizer. And one of the people that, I feel like this is 19th century gossip, one of the people that Metternich was sleeping with on the side was Napoleon's sister. That's the most fascinating thing you're going to hear in chapter 21. All right. He's the Prince of Austria. All right. We're going to stop there. We're going to finish the rest of this section. Hold on, really fast though. You need to be reading this chapter. Like I told you, you need to be doing a thorough, complete job. Stop packing up. Thorough, complete job on your study guides. You need to be reading the chapters. I'm going to start putting the pages I want you to read online, because I don't know that any of you even checked the sideboard to see what sections we're covering. So I'll just put the pages online that we'll be covering in class that day, and you know to read it ahead of time. This test is coming up quickly, like Wednesday quickly. So print off that study guide, and that's what you're going to be doing this weekend, as well as reading.